Hello friends, good morning and welcome to the EduSat Network. Our topic of discussion was part of our ongoing series on marketing management, and friends, today's specific topic is product life cycle. And to take this further, we have this in our studio, our same subject expert, Dr. Subhash Kakkar, director of a very well-known educational institute in Delhi. And with this brief introduction, I welcome sir to the studio. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you and welcome viewers. Today's topic is product life cycle, and this lecture is part of our series on marketing management. When a business decides to have a product in the market, there are certain things which are to be seen so that we are able to improve the sales day by day, and it reaches almost at the topmost position and fetches more and more market share. To do that, we must study the entire life cycle of the product. Today we will devote time in studying this particular topic. We will find the use of this topic to improve the sales turnover. When we introduce a product, before introduction, a lot of things are to be seen. We want to see what sort of customers, what sort of consumers are going to buy our product. What features should be introduced in the product so that customers like our product. And then finally we decide launching of the product, and the market grows with our own efforts, and these efforts must be congruent with the features of the product, taste of the product, fashion, style and fads. So we will study this particular topic, product life cycle. What exactly is meant by product life cycle? And shortly we say PLC. About 95% of all newly introduced products fail each year. Success rate for the products is not very high. It is said that close to 95% of the products fail, and this is given by article written by Forbes.com, and even the few that succeed have certain lifespans called product life cycles. There are 4 phases to each product's life cycle, not including the innovation and development stage. If we exclude the product innovation and development stage, the rest, the entire product life is divided into 4 phases. Companies use various marketing strategies in each stage to prolong the life cycles of their products. The aim of the marketing department is to see that product life increases, and it should not decrease all of a sudden. Most strategies are implemented to counter key moves and strategies of competitive companies. When we are working in the market, when we are playing in the market, we have to see the strategies being adopted by our competitors. Based on their strategies, we have to make our own strategies so that our market share keeps on increasing and the product life is increased. That is the aim, and that's why we study product life cycle. Product life cycle is simply PLC, which describes the stages a new product goes through in the marketplace, and these stages are introduction, growth, maturity and decline. I will repeat these stages. There are 4 stages. The growth, prior to that is introduction, growth, maturity and decline. These 4 stages and the product goes through these 4 stages. We will see how the sales grow, how they get decline also, what are the reasons for declining, what are the reasons for growth, what all steps should be taken during the introduction stage, during the growth stage, maturity stage and finally decline stage, so that we are able to enhance the product life cycle as far as possible. Product life cycle. The concept of product life cycle, PLC, concerns the life of a product in the market with respect to business, commercial costs and sales measures. The product life cycle proceeds through multiple phases, involves many professional disciplines and requires many skills, tools and processes. PLC management makes the following 3 assumptions, and these assumptions are: the first one, products have a limited life and thus every product has a life cycle. Second is, product sales pass through distinct stages, each posing different challenges, opportunities and problems to the seller. Products require different marketing, financing, manufacturing, purchasing and human resource strategies in each life cycle stage. We named 4 stages of the product life cycle. At different stage, different strategies are to be adopted. Now, we will study what these strategies are, which should be adopted so that we are able to enhance the product life. This diagram shows the product life cycle, and this graph is between time and the sales turnover from a particular product. On y-axis, sales are depicted, on the x-axis, time is depicted. First stage, as we have already mentioned, is the introductory stage. At this stage, the product is introduced in the market and the sales start growing steeply. In the second stage, which is called growth stage, and the sales stabilize after this period, and stabilization period is called maturity stage, and during this stage only the sales start declining. And finally, the decline stage, where the sales totally decline. And if we see the profit portion, in the beginning there is a very low profit, and this is in the introductory stage. During the growth stage, the profit increases. In the maturity stage, the profit declines, and even in the decline stage, the profit reduces. These are the 4 stages, and the product life cycle is drawn in this diagram. This is a bell-shaped curve showing different stages of product life cycle. Aim of the marketing department is to increase the product life of any product, and we are to study now the different strategies to be adopted in each stage, so that every stage we are able to enhance the life of a product. During the introductory stage, full scale launch of a new product is there. And what are the features of this particular stage? High failure rates. The products may fail during this stage, and a lot of efforts are to be made by the company to stay in the market. Because it is a new product, features, performance may fail in the market. Consumer will give all the complaints regarding the product, so they will be a failure. I don't say that always we feel or always we face the failure. Sometimes without any failure, the product is introduced in the market. At this stage, since the product is new, we face little competition and frequent product modifications as suggested by consumers or suggested by our marketing team. Modifications in the product are made so that we provide maximum satisfaction to the customer. Limited distribution. In the beginning, we keep the production level low. That's why limited distribution is there. The moment the product sales take the momentum, immediately distribution channels are broadened and expanded. High marketing and production costs. Marketing expenditure is high at this stage. Even the production cost is also very high because of low volumes of production machines being run at low capacities. Negative profits. We may face losses during the initial part of the introductory stage. Promotion focuses on awareness and information. During this stage, our aim is to make the customer aware of the product, its features, its utility. And then we start the actual marketing game of the product. Intensive personal selling to channels. Personal selling is intensified during this introductory stage. These are some of the characteristics of a introductory stage when a product is introduced in the market. Introduction phase. The introduction phase is when the public first sees or hears about a product. It's a new product. The consumers, the customers come to know for the first time regarding this particular product. The product appears in stores for the first time and people start seeing print and television ads during this phase. A company may choose one of two pricing strategies. There are two pricing strategies. One is penetrating, other is skimming. Out of these two, the company will choose one, depending upon whether the product is to reach everyone in the market or product is to reach only a few people in the market. Based on this, we'll decide the pricing policy of the product. They may set prices high to recoup initial expenses that went into the producing of the product. For example, a cell phone manufacturer with the new technology may introduce cell phones 10% to 20% above the prices of most premium cell phones. They may price their phones higher because of the hype and anticipation of the new technology. New technology is being introduced and it will cost money. to the company, and this money is to be recovered, and this is to be recovered from the customers. That's why a new cell phone, when it is introduced at a premium price, maybe 10 to 20% higher than the market price of equivalent product. The company also knows enough people will pay the extra 10 to 20% for it to earn substantial profits. Contrarily, the same cell phone company may introduce a cell phone with basic features at reduced prices in hopes of gaining lots of new customers. We have explained two different strategies. On one side, a premium product is being launched at a premium price, at a higher price, so that only few customers should buy. On the other hand, a new product is to be introduced, and this product is to reach the masses, and it is priced low so that almost everyone tries to buy the product. So, one pricing policy is called penetrating, the other is called skimming pricing policy. Next is the growth stage. Under this stage, offered in more sizes, flavors and options. Increasing rate of sales. At this stage, sales start increasing, and there is a steep growth in the chart. Entrance of competitors. At this stage, our new product does not remain new, because the competitors will try to enter into the market with their own products. They have already seen our product, maybe they have copied our product, and then they will introduce their own product. So, we will have to face the competition. And then market consolidation. Market will start consolidating at this stage. Initial healthy profits. Promotion emphasis, brand ads. Now, the impact we want to see is on the promotion, means advertising. Goal is wider distribution. At this stage, we like to enlarge our distribution base through supply chain management. Prices normally fall because of entrant, competitors. So, prices will get reduced. Development costs are recovered. By this time, whatever costs has been incurred on developing the product is already been recovered. So, these are some of the points which are applicable in the growth stage. Growth phase is when sales and profits for the new product start rising. In the introductory stage, we have seen the growth is slow, growth in sales is slow, profit is also low, but in the growth stage, a steep rise is seen and rise in profit is also seen. A company will usually keep product prices about the same during the growth stage to maximize earnings. At this stage, no interference and no playing with the prices is carried out. Prices are kept almost at the same level and sales are increased. And when sales volume increases, the growth is seen in the market. And this is particularly seen for the products which are being introduced for the first time in the market. Product quality is also maintained. Here emphasis is given to the product quality, and the quality level is maintained so that the product which was introduced, it was having some quality. A better quality is given to the customers when we reach the growth stage. However, a company will usually expand its product distribution during the growth stage. As we have already said, supply chain management is given priority at this stage. More and more distribution channels are opened throughout the market base so that customers are provided the product without any delay and without any hassle through supply chain management and distribution channels. For example, a consumer product company might start selling its organic cereal in new markets based on positive marketing research from consumers. Eventually, the organic cereal will start appearing in stores across the country. Company marketers usually increase advertising during the growth phase. Whenever we want to see the sales to grow, we have to grow the distribution channels. When the distribution channels are increased along with expenditure on advertisement, awareness of the product is provided to the customer, and then customers start purchasing the product. In turn, the sales increase, and then these result in growth of the sales. So, this happens in the growth stage. Company actions in the growth stage. A common reaction for companies with products in the growth stage is to expand the supply chain distribution of the product to substantiate revenues from the higher prices that can be warranted in this stage. More and more emphasis is given to distribution channels. More the distribution channels with better service conditions will have more sales, will have more satisfied customers in the market, and this will increase the sales of the product during the growth stage. It is common in the growth stage of the product life cycle to see the market leader set the price point and continue to control the price, supply and demand of the product as a result of consumer acceptance. Under this stage, the market leader fix the price of the product, supply of the product and demand of the product. This market leader controls and manage the price level, supply level and demand level of the product. And then also consumer acceptance of the product. When we are sitting in the leader's seat, our responsibility also increases. We have to control everything: price, supply, demand and consumer acceptance of the product. If we are able to do that, the market share will increase. Our sales will also increase. Companies will look to marketing research and gather consumer statistics to understand consumer behavior. At this stage, more emphasis is to be given to see the consumer behavior. For that, marketing research is carried out. Based on that, improvements are also provided in the product features. So, we understand consumer behavior, buying patterns, and to determine how the product can be transformed to meet customer needs and extend the life cycle of the product. At this stage, the company is serious and looking for seriously making the customer satisfied by providing features which are needed by the customers. So, modifications small in nature are introduced in the product so that we are able to enhance the product life cycle. Then comes a maturity stage. Under this stage, there is a declining trend in sales. So, we face declining sales growth. Now, under this stage, which is maturity stage, many consumer products are in maturity, and we find that declining sales growth, markets are now saturated. Nothing more can be introduced in the market as far as product quantity is concerned. Market is also saturated with competition. Then extending product line, stylistic product changes, heavy promotions to dealers and consumers. Marginal competitors drop out, prices and profits fall, niche marketers emerge. At this stage, there are certain factors which are introduced. On one side, we feel our sales are declining. On the other side, we see that markets are totally saturated with the product as well as with the competition. More competitors are there, but everyone is trying to extend the product line, introducing more and more similar products, and styles are also introduced in the product. Stylistic product changes are carried out. Marginal competitors drop out. The competition and the competitors, those who are on the verge, they leave the market because they cannot sustain, and prices and profits also fall. Because of competition, because of saturation in the market, companies drop the prices. When prices are reduced, the profits also get reduced. Competition is reduced, competitors are reduced. What happens? Niche marketers emerge. So, all this happened in the maturity stage. In the maturity stage, success inevitably leads to increased competition. Other companies eventually will start introducing similar products, especially if the initial product is highly successful. Consequently, the demand for the product and its competitors will peak at some point. There are 2-3 things are to be seen under this stage. On one side, we are saying that the competition is increasing, but the competition which is at the verge will leave the market, and the niche marketers will emerge. Companies want to remain in the market, they want to retain their market share also. They will start introducing new products which are similar to the old product, but with additional features, and these features are needed by the customer. If these features are provided, again the sales will improve. So, more competition, small competitors leave the market, new similar products are introduced during this maturity stage. Sales growth will start to decline now. Now, a stage will come when we will have peak sales, the maximum sales. After that, the sales will start dropping, declining, and some companies may lower prices to capture additional market share or new customers. At this point, a company may need to develop new product features or services to differentiate its products from the competitor. To have a clear-cut difference with the competition, the companies try to introduce new features in the product. They start providing new services along with the product so that the company's product seems to be different from the competition. When it is different in a good sense, the customers will like to buy this product, and the companies try to increase their market share by introducing this kind of strategy. But in the long run, the sales reach the topmost position, but after this, they start reducing. For example, the company that first introduced the product may enhance its customer service department to establish itself as the service leader in the industry. Company's stellar customer service may be the distinguishing element that spurs additional sales and customers. The company would then feature its superior customer service in most of its advertising. This is what we already explained. Now, company starts introducing new and new features, new and new service factor attached to the product, and these new features and these new services which are being provided along with the purchase of the product finds a place in the advertisement also, and these new things are advertised like anything. When the customer looks at new features and the new services which are being provided by the company, may like to try the new product, and this is the way the companies try to increase their sales turnover. And now is the final stage, decline stage. Long run drop in sales, large inventories of unsold items, elimination of all non-essential marketing expenses. Rate of decline depends on change in tastes or adoption of substitute products. At this stage, everything starts dropping. When we talk of sales, it also starts dropping. When we talk of profit, it starts dropping. When the sales are dropping, naturally the inventory level will increase. All marketing expenses will also increase. When we find that the sales are declining, we try to spend more on marketing activities to retain the sales level. So, marketing expenses are also high during this stage. Under declining stage, demand for the product will eventually wane as newer technologies are introduced. Hence, companies can either maintain the product, sell it at heavily reduced prices, or discontinue the product. When we see the graph of the product life cycle, it is like a bell shape. Sales increase, then steeply increase, then get stabilized at the maximum level, and after that sales start reducing and finally reach the decline stage. A company that maintains the product may continue increasing sales by finding new uses for the product. Some companies improve their sales by introducing the new uses of the product. We will talk about this strategy also. For example, a soap manufacturer may discover through marketing research that restaurants and industrial companies like the cleaning properties of this particular soap. Subsequently, they start introducing customers which will like to have this soap as a cleaning agent. So, for example, a soap manufacturer may discover through marketing research that restaurants and industrial companies like the cleaning properties of its soap, and subsequently the company would start selling its soap to both consumers and businesses. Means commercial customers will also be provided with the product. This strategy could help extend the life of the product. Before going further, we will discuss some of the product life cycles and different shapes of the product life cycle. One is growth, slump, maturity product life cycle. This is growth, slump, and maturity. Growth is there, the slump is there in the sales, and then maturity is seen. Products used in the kitchen, kitchen appliances like handheld blenders, mixers, etc. Their sales increase in the beginning. They reach the maturity level soon after that. These kind of products have growth, slump, maturity product cycle. Then cycle, recycle pattern. In the product life cycle, we have seen cycle, recycle pattern. For example, a new drug is introduced in the market. New drug is the product. It goes through all the stages of product life cycle. At the decline stage, a push is given to advertisement. Another promotion activity is carried out. When this happens, the sales again will improve and the product will follow through another life cycle. Again, at the decline stage, another push to promotion is given, another life cycle is introduced, and so this is called cycle recycle pattern of product life cycle. Scalloped pattern, under this pattern, sales pass through successive life cycles, life cycle after life cycle, many new uses of the product are introduced. When a new use of the product is there, again it follows through a product life cycle. Another use is introduced, it follows through one more life cycle. Like nylon was introduced in the market, its uses also were introduced at time intervals. Use of nylon in parachutes, use of nylon in shoe industry, use of nylon in clothes, and use of nylon in tires at different stages and different life cycles were there, and that was the way to improve the product life of the products. Then there are another type of product life cycles like fashion, style and fad. Fashion, style and fad. What is style? It is the display of human interest in a particular way of carrying out a thing. That becomes the style. Fashion, if we accept a particular style currently, then it becomes the fashion. On the other hand, fad, it comes quickly and goes away quickly. So, the sales turnover, if the product is a fad, will increase in no time, and then it falls also in no time. And that is the way the fad products, fashion products and style product have different shapes in the product life cycle. Now, we will discuss identifying PLC stages. PLC is nothing but product life cycle. Identifying the stage of a product is an art more than a science, but it is possible to find patterns in some of the general product features at each stage. Identifying product stages when the product is in transition is very difficult. Identifying features of product life cycle are sales, investment cost, competition, advertising and profit. Stages are the same: introduction, growth, maturity and decline. If we talk about sales, in the introductory stage, sales is low. In the growth stage, it is high, and in the maturity stage, again it is high. But at the decline stage, the sales is low. And now we discuss investment cost. In the introductory stage, the investment is very high. In the growth stage, higher but lower than intro stage. And maturity, investment is very low. And the decline stage also, investment is very low. Now, we will discuss the competition part. In the introduction stage, we are the only people who have introduced the product in the market. So, competition is also at a very low level. So, low or no competition in the introduction stage. Growth stage, competition is very high, maturity also very high, but in the decline, again the competitors leave the market and the competition is also low. Advertising, in the introduction stage, very high expenditure. Growth again very high, maturity also very high, but in the decline stage, it reduces, it is low. Profit, introductory stage very low, growth very high, maturity very high, but in the decline stage, profit also declines. So, the profit level is also low. Now, we will discuss how stages of the product life cycle relate to firm's marketing objectives and marketing mix actions. When we discuss product strategy, in the introduction stage, limited models, frequent changes. In the growth stage, we have more models but frequent changes. In the maturity stage, large number of models. In decline, eliminate unprofitable models, and this is the product strategy. Distribution strategy, during the introduction stage, limited wholesale retail distributors. In the growth, expanded dealers, long-term relations, and maturity, extensive margins, drop shelf space. And decline, phase out unprofitable outlets. Promotion strategy, in the introductory stage, awareness, stimulate demand and sampling. In the growth, aggressive ads, stimulate demand, maturity, advertise, promote heavily. In the decline stage, phase out promotion. So, pricing strategy, in the introductory stage, higher RICU development costs, growth, fall as a result of competition and efficient production. Maturity, prices fall usually, but in the decline stage, prices stabilize at low level. And so, these are the strategies one can adopt when we talk of product strategy, distribution strategy, promotion strategy, pricing strategy with respect to different phases: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. There are certain limitations also. We will discuss the limitations. It is important for marketing managers to understand the limitations of PLC model. It is difficult for marketing management to gauge accurately where a product is on its life cycle. Though we have explained thoroughly how to find out a stage in which the product is running, but it becomes difficult sometimes to find out a particular stage at which a particular product is running. A rise in sales per se is not necessarily evidence of growth. A fall in sales per se does not typify decline, and some products, that is, for example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, may not. Differing products possess different PLC shapes. A fad product develops as a steep sloped growth stage, a short maturity stage, and a steep slope decline stage. Products such as Coca-Cola and Pepsi experience growth but also a constant level of sales over a number of decades. A given product or products collectively within an industry may hold a unique PLC shape such that use of typical PLC models are only useful as a rough guide for marketing management. And these are all limitations of PLC. For specific products, the duration of each PLC stage is unpredictable, and it is difficult to detect when maturity or decline has begun and when it has finished also. Because of these limitations, strict adherence to PLC can lead a company to misleading objectives and strategy prescriptions. We may adopt wrong strategies because we are not sure at what stage of product life cycle the product is running. One has to understand clearly the exact location of the product life cycle where a product is running at a particular moment, and a strategy can be framed and implemented. Managing the product life cycle, modifying the product. We have to improve the life of the product, we have to introduce new and new features in the product. After product quality, enhance performance, change appearance, modifying the market, finding new users, increase use, create new use situations. Then extending the product life cycle, repositioning, reacting to a competitor's position, never compete head on, catching a rising trend, baby aspirin is now low dose aspirin to reduce heart attacks. And these are the products which are introduced with new features, changing the value offered, trading up, add bells and whistles to raise prices, trading down, remove bells and whistles to lower prices, downsizing, reduce contents but maintain price. These are certain strategies one adopts. Now, we will see different product life cycles. High learning product, which is shown in the A diagram, B shows low learning product, C shows fashion product, and finally D shows fad product. We already discussed style, fashion and fad, and these type of products which are particularly related to a fashion, style or fad have different shaped product life cycles. As shown in the diagram, high learning product, again it has a normal curve. Fad product, it goes steep and falls immediately. Fashion product improves and then declines, improves and then declines, depending upon the fashion in practice. 5 categories of product adapters. Products are being adapted, and for that adoption we have 5 categories. The first one we call them innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority and finally laggards. Innovators, those who introduce the product, they spend money on the new technology, they take the risk, they are the risk takers. Early adopters, when a new product is introduced in the market, immediately they want to have that product or technology. Early majority, and the percentage is 34%, around 34%, and the late majority is also around 34%. And these percentages are showing the majority of the people try to have the technology of or the product only after they see the results of early adopters and the innovators. When they get satisfied, only then they try to have a new product or new technology. And finally, we have laggards who are slow in reaction, and finally they buy the product or they buy the technology. Again, we will discuss the percentages. Innovators are only say 2.5%, 2 to 3% people. Early adopters are around 13.5, 13 to 14%, and early majority and late majority around 34% each, and finally laggards are 16%. 5 profiles of product adopters. Innovators, venturesome, high educated, use multiple information sources. Early majority, deliberate, many informal social contexts. Early adopters, leaders in social setting, slightly above average education. Late majority, skeptical, below average social status. Laggards, fear of debt. Neighbors and friends are information sources. These are 5 profiles of product adopters. Now, we will discuss something about branding also. When we talk of brand name, and this is that part of a brand that can be spoken, including letters, words and numbers. Brand mark, the element of a brand that cannot be spoken. We can see that mark, and that is the brand mark. Brand equity, the value brand names give to a product beyond the functional benefits provided, why you pay more for Versace. So, these are different things which are attached to the branding: brand name, brand mark, and brand equity. And products are sold depending upon the brand and branding. Value of brand equity, listed as an intangible. We cannot see the brand equity, that is why it is called intangible, and this is an intangible asset when computing company worth. Makes brand name companies sell for more than unbranded companies. Can command larger licensing fees because the product is a definite seller. Can sell the use brand name on non-core products. So, this is the way we sell the brand and brand equity to the customers and have our sales turnover increased. So, today viewers, we discussed and understood the meaning of product life cycle. We discussed different strategies which can be adopted at different phases of a product life cycle. We can know the stage at which a product is running. We can formulate a strategy with respect to that stage. We can enhance the product life cycle. With this, we can improve our sales. If we are clear about the product life cycle, shape of the product life cycle, which is different for different products. We discussed normal products, stylish products, fashion products, and the products related to the fad. Each one has a different shape, and we have to adopt a different strategy to improve the sales, to improve our market share. Thank you so much, viewers.
Thank you so much, sir. That was an extremely interesting lecture that we had today on product life cycle, and we look forward to more thought-provoking and very engaging lectures in the future also. So, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you, viewers. Keep watching and have a wonderful day ahead.